Hi guys, in this tutorial I'm going to show you how to add effective camera shake quick and easy. So the first thing you want to do, that I do, is I select my camera and then I add a keyframe. But before I add a keyframe, I press N and I hover my mouse over the rotation. It could be any one of these rotations on the X, Y, or Z because it'll apply to all. And then while your mouse is hovering over this, you press I to add a keyframe to the rotation. And there you have it. Now we can lift this up. We can see a keyframe is added, but we don't want to be in this view. We want to be in the graph editor. Now that we're in the graph editor, the first thing we want to do is we want to open this up, expand it, and let's also, just to make sure we can see what we're doing a bit better, we can have another window here. Press N to minimize that, and then press the camera view so we can see what the camera sees. And I'm going to press T here just to minimize that so we only see the camera. Right, so now the first thing we want to do is we want to select one of these things that we want to modify. So we'll start off with the x-axis, and then we'll hover our mouse over here in this viewport section, and we'll press N, and then we'll select modifiers, and we'll add a modifier, and we're going to use the noise modifier in this example. You can play around with all of them and find one that you like, but I'm using the noise modifier. Once you've selected the noise modifier, you can select normalize, and then you can see the noise, right? Now what we can do, we're going to zoom in here and just take a look at it. Now if we press spacebar to play our animation, that's a bit too jumpy, right? It's not believable. So I'm going to zoom out quickly, and because each frame, well, it takes about 30 frames with this example, but each frame is just a frame. It takes about 24 frames per second. So right, anyways, we want frame 0. We want to have less shake. So all we need to do to change the shake is that we can increase the scale of this. And by increasing the scale, we'll see what happens. It stretches it out, which means it's less of a shake, right? And the further you go, the straighter the line will get. I'm going to make this 110. You can play around with it, choose a setting that you like, and you can always press spacebar to see how it looks. So this is what 110 does, which is cool, it's fine. It's not the effect I'm going for. So let me just zoom out. Go back there, zoom back in. I'm zooming in and out, rolling the middle mouse wheel. Just a heads up. Right, so now that I'm here, 110 is fine, but the strength is too much. It's going up and down too much. So we can adjust the strength over here, and you can scroll it down to whatever amount you think would work. But I'm going to work with about 0.1, 0.15. Now if we press spacebar to play, see there's a little bit of camera shake. It's still quite a lot. You might even want to make it less than this, but also makes your footage look like it's been held by someone. It looks a bit more realistic. Also, the next thing we can do that I want to show you, let me just reduce this to, let's make this 1. Now, you might have a particular starting point in mind. Let's say you'd prefer to start over here, or you'd prefer to start over here than at this specific spot. Well, you can do that by using this offset. It moves the graph from left to right. If you want to move it left, you can move it left. If you want to move it right, you can move it right. And play around with this, see what you like. I'm going to leave this on 110 for now. The next thing you want to know, 11, 110. The next thing you want to know is you want to do the same thing to the y-axis and the z-axis. Let me just press spacebar. And the reason being, because you want it to look even more realistic, not just doing that on one axis. So we're going to copy this F modifier, or we can create the same thing we just did now, but in this case we're just going to copy our work that we did to save time. We're going to select the y-axis, and then we're going to go over here and we're going to paste. And if we play it now, you'll see the rotation from side to side. And if you want to see an even stronger effect, now that this looks a lot more realistic, we can increase the strength, but then it gets really bad. So I'm going to leave this on 0.1. I'm quite happy with that. And then we want to do the same with the z-axis. So we're going to paste. And we can play around with the strength and stuff. See, the strength makes it go from left to right. I'm going to leave this on 0.1. And there you have it. You have realistic camera shake